I'm Alana.
We're passionate about the glossy black cockatoo. Join us for the next 5 minutes and we'll show you why. At home in the trees of southeast Queensland, the glossy black cockatoo is a welcome but unfortunately not a common sight. Every March, pairs of glossy black cockatoos look for a safe home to lay a single egg and raise one young cockatoo together as a family. However, none of this is possible without a home.
This is Dylan. He loves his bed. He would nest in it all day if he didn't have to go to work. The glossy blacks have a favourite place to nest too. They prefer mature trees with high hollows out of the way of predators.
Dylan's favourite food is apples. He would eat them every day if he could. Glossy blacks have a favourite food too. They eat seeds from this tree, Australia's native casuarina tree. You might not know by looking at it, but this is the life force behind Australia's glossy blacks. Like most bird life in Australia, glossy blacks rely heavily on trees for food and shelter. What makes these little guys' situations so unique though, is that they are fussy eaters, choosing only to feed on the seeds of this tree.
There's nobody else in the world quite like Dylan. He's definitely one of a kind. Glossy blacks are one of a kind too, found in southeast Queensland, New South Wales and Kangaroo Island. You can't find them anywhere else in the world. Unfortunately, not everyone realises how special glossy blacks are. Not everybody looks at trees and sees a beautifully balanced ecosystem.
Many only see land going to waste, land that can be cleared and used for economic gain, until they see green of another variety.
The human-induced threats are certainly ever increasing. There's increasing population, increasing demand for resources and housing and all of those things, and it's got to ultimately compound on a species like this one. In urban areas, big old eucalypts with large hollows tend to get looked at as dangerous, and before you know it, council or someone's out there trimming them back. I see a lot of casuarinas near someone's house and they think, well, that's a fire threat, we better go through and burn it.
The glossy black populations of South Australia became extinct on the mainland due to extensive land clearing after the European settlement. Habitat destruction clearly has a significant effect on the glossy black. Glossy blacks aren't the only species suffering. Habitat destruction is a national issue and affects many species across Australia.
That's right. Over the last 200 years, Australia has suffered the largest biodiversity decline of any continent.
You know, for such a rich country, with such magic, diverse wildlife and unique wildlife, and endemic only found in Australia, the rate that we're making things disappear or become vulnerable and endangered just isn't acceptable.
Biodiversity is important for our ecosystems. You can picture an ecosystem as a finely tuned car. Each part of the car interacts and relies on other parts, just as species in an ecosystem interact and rely on each other. If one part breaks, this affects other parts. It may not be noticeable instantly, but eventually, over time, these small breakages can bring the whole system to a halt.
State governments attempt to provide protected areas through national parks, reserves and wildlife corridors.
In 2011, the state government announced the protection of the Flinders-Karawatha Wildlife Corridor, a 60-kilometre stretch of eucalypt bushland which should eventually prevent urban development from occurring within this area.
Wildlife corridors are intrinsic to wildlife management. If we can't link habitats up and have safe movement, then you can almost give up the game. And for various species, corridors work quite well, but inevitably corridors should function as habitat in their own rights.
The Glossy Black Conservancy was established in 2005 to raise awareness and engage the community in protecting these birds.
All of the local governments in southeast Queensland are all signed up and all contributing and assisting with the Conservancy.
As a member of the community, you can get involved too. You can donate your time or money to the Conservancy. You can report any sightings. You could pop a bird bath in your backyard or even plant a casuarina tree.
We have to keep them alive in the wild for themselves. or accept the fact that we've all failed and we will lose that bird in the long term.
Don't climb just because there's a sky-high ladder. Who needs a full resume just to show the grim reaper? Because of the way